Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah, wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man wala, amma ba'du. Okay, now we're in the Nahul Wadih. And last week we mentioned something very important, and I was upset that Abdullah had to go so quickly. Right? We were talking about khabar. And the khabar, basically the predicate, right? Al-khabar is of three types. Mufrad, right? Mufrad, singular. Jumla, a sentence. And shibhu jumla, a phrase. Right? And when it's a sentence, it can be ismiya, or it can be fi'liya. Right? And when it's a shibhu jumla, it can be jar wa majroor, or it can be dharf mudaf ilay. Right? Dharf mudaf ilay. So as an example here, I say Muhammad Jamil. Right? Muhammad Jamil. Muhammad is beautiful. We have mubtada, we have khabar. Our khabar is mufrad. It's singular. Right? Here on a jumla, if I say Muhammad Baytuhu Jamil. Right? Muhammad is our mubtada. Right? Then we have a sentence here. We have basically another sentence here when we cut that. We say Baytuhu, his house. His house is beautiful. Muhammad, his house is beautiful. So where's the khabar in this sentence? Basically we have, if we break here, like we say, we have another sentence. So we say Baytuhu, this is your mubtada, right? This is your second mubtada here, right? Jamil is your khabar, right? And who is mudaf ilay. His house is this. And together, this is your khabar of Muhammad. Together. All together, this sentence is the khabar. And if we said Muhammad ya'kulu, and it could be, when I say a fi'l, it could be past tense or it could be present tense. Here I'm making it present tense. Muhammad ya'kulu al-tamr. Here we have a mubtada. We started with a noun. That's our mubtada. Now after that I got a verb. Where's my khabar? Okay, so I have a verb, right? And I have a maf'ulun bihi. The file here is hidden inside of here. It's mustatir taqdiruhu huwa. It's hidden, right? So here I have a jumla fi'liya. I can say Muhammad ya'kulu at-tamr or Muhammad akala at-tamr. Either way it goes, present tense or past tense, right? I have a sentence here. This would have a fi'l mudari marfu' wa alamatu raf'ihi ad-dhamma, right? The fa'il is mustatir taqdiruhu huwa. Then this tamar is maf'ulun bihi mansub wa alamatu nasbihi al-fatha. Right? طيب. This is a jumla fi'liya. We just did the i'rab of it, right? Now, we need the khabar of Muhammad still. Together, this jumla is the khabar. And we would say khabar marfu', like this. Because khabar is always marfu'. Right? Then if we say shibhu jumla, Muhammad min al-Hind. He's from Hind. He's from India. Right? This is jar wa majroor. And together, this is shibhu jumla khabar. Together, this is the khabar. Muhammad is your mubtada. Min al-Hind is the khabar. Jar wa majroor. And then we could say ظرف مضاف إليه محمد أمام المسجد. Not imam, but أمام المسجد. In front of the masjid. This is ظرف. This is the ظرف. This is an adverb. مضاف إليه. أمام. Together. This is a شبه جملة. خبر. Muhammad is your mubtada. أمام المسجد is your khabar. This is why we see in certain sentences that they're long, right? And how does this all work, right? Not every sentence is going to be just two words. Muhammad Jamil, Muhammad Muhandis, right? Muhammad Walid, Muhammad Talib, Fatima Bint. No, it's not going to work like that. You're going to have sentences. They get more complex. And when they get more complex, sometimes there's a sentence inside of a sentence. Maybe inside of a sentence. You understand? But every sentence we get, for instance, or every part of a sentence that we get, we're going to break that sentence down, and then together, that sentence is going to be the khabar of this. And maybe this too, this sentence is the khabar of this sentence. Is that clear? I'm sure it is, probably for طيب. Now, I'm just going to go over the rule real quick, just because it make it easy on us. I'm going to go and give us an example before we get to the actual text, and then just make the text so easy. We won't even really need to read the sentences, but we will. Some of them at least. Now we also have, what we call a mubtada. Mubtada. And al-khabar. And we said this is marfu and this is marfu. But sometimes we add in front of that inna. In front of that mubtada and khabar, we add inna. And we said this is no longer called the mubtada. Once we add inna, this is called ismu inna. And this is called khabaru inna. We remember that? Yeah. And sometimes and this inna has sisters. Inna, anna, ka'anna, la'alla. It has sisters. It has words that fill the same role as that. Then we also have kana, which appears before a mubtada and a khabar. But when it does that, right? When it does that, then we no longer call it mubtada and khabar. We call it ismu kana and khabaru kana. Now, mubtada is marfu'. Right? Your khabar is marfu'. But ismu inna is mansoob. And khabaru inna is marfu'. Right? Kana, ismu kana is marfu'. And khabaru kana is mansoob. Right? So now, all those examples that we just went through, right? All those examples that we just went through. Muhammad Jamil, Muhammad Baytuhu Jamil, right? Every one of those examples. Let me see if I can write them again. If I can remember what I wrote. We had Muhammad Jamil, right? And Muhammad Baytuhu Jamil. Then we had Muhammad Ya'kulu At-tamar. Right? Then we have what do we say? Muhammad min al-Hind. Right? And we said Muhammad amam al-Masjid. طيب. Here, it's mufrad. Singular word. Your khabar is mufrad marfu'. Here, you have jumla ismiya. Your khabar is all of this. And we say marfu'. We say khabar. This is baytuhu jamil khabaru marfu'. This khabar of Muhammad. This is jumla fi'liya. Right? Jumla fi'liya. And we say khabar marfu' for all of that. This is all of this in the square is the khabar. Here, this is shibhu jumla. Shibhu jumla. And then if we break it down even further, it's jar wa majroor, meaning that's what it's made up of, right? I can't write the whole thing in that space. And this whole thing here is your khabar. Here, this is shibhu jumla, phrase similar to a sentence, right? Resembling a sentence. And it is dharf mudaf ilayh. Dharf mudaf ilayh. Right? And this whole thing is your khabar, marfu'. Now, when I take and I put inna in front of Muhammad Jamil, inna Muhammadan Jamilun, this becomes my ismu inna mansoob, as I said, right? Where's it at? Here. Mansoob, as we said right here, right? Inna makes the mubtada ismu inna, and it becomes mansoob, as I wrote here. Muhammadun Jamilun. No problem here, right? No problem. This is still my khabar, but it could be inna Muhammadun or Muhammadan. What did I say here? What was my original sentence? Baytuhu Jamil. Inna Muhammadan Baytuhu Jamil. Or inna Muhammadan, right? Ya'kulu at-tamr. طيب. Now, and this is why this is technical, because we're learning i'rab. We're learning how to break down the sentences. So in this sentence here, I say Muhammad mubtada marfu', Jamil khabar marfu'. Right? Here, I say Muhammad mubtada marfu'. Then I say baytuhu. This is mubtada. This is the second mubtada. Hu is mudaf ilayh. Jamil is the khabar of bayt. And together, baytuhu Jamil is the khabar of Muhammad. Muhammad is the mubtada, marfu'. Right? Ya'kulu is a present tense verb. Right? The file is hidden inside of it. Taqdiruhu huwa. At-tamr is the maf'ulun bihi, mansoob. We can talk about its alama, its sign, and all of that. And we say jumla fi'liya khabar marfu' to Muhammad. Muhammad is a mubtada. Min al-Hind. Min al-Hind is jar wa majroor. Shibhu jumla khabar marfu' to Muhammad. Muhammad is your mubtada marfu'. Amam is a dharf. Dharf al-makan. It's an adverb of place. Where is he at? In front of the masjid. This is mudaf ilayh majroor, and together it's shibhu jumla khabar marfu' to Muhammad. Because the khabar is always marfu'. It's in a position of being marfu'. Now here, I said inna Muhammadan. This is ismu inna, mansoob, because of inna. But baytuhu jamil, as we break this sentence down, it's going to be broken down the same way. Baytuhu jamil. We're going to say, just like we said here, bayt is the mubtada thani. Here we're not going to say mubtada thani. We're just going to say this is a mubtada, because we don't have a mubtada anymore. We have ismu inna. The mubtada, which was Muhammad, became ismu inna. So we don't have mubtada athani. We don't have the second mubtada. Now we have just one mubtada. Baytu huwa. This is still mudaf ilayh. And this is your khabar, jamil. And together, are they khabar? No. They're khabaru inna. Khabaru inna marfu. Right? Ya'kulu at-tamra. It's the same thing. We're going to say Muhammad. We're up here before we put the inna. Muhammad was the mubtada. Now I put inna. It's no longer called the mubtada. It's called ismu inna, mansoob. Ya'kulu is still going to be my present tense verb. The fa'il is going to be taqdiruhu huwa. It's going to be hidden inside there, him. This is still my maf'ulun bihi. This is jumla fi'liya. We broke that down. Now together, they are khabaru inna, marfu'. Same thing if we said inna Muhammadan min al-Hind. Right? Min al-Hind. Indeed, Muhammad is from India. We're going to say jar wa majroor, shibhu jumla, khabaru inna, marfu'. Right? Or any one of inna's sisters. And if we say inna Muhammadan amam al-masjid, right? Amam al-masjid. Then we say dharf wa mudaf ilayh, shibhu jumla, khabaru inna. Because it's no longer just the khabar, it's khabaru inna. Because the mubtada is no longer a mubtada, it's ismu inna. Same thing were to go if I were to put kana in front of it. Kana has ismu kana and khabaru kana. So just like khabaru inna, or just like the khabar can be mufrad and jumla and shibhu jumla, right? So can khabaru inna and khabaru kana. Khabaru kana. Same thing. So when in this sentence here, Muhammad Jamil, we're going to say khabar marfu'. Here we're going to say khabar marfu'. Khabar marfu'. Khabar marfu'. Khabar marfu'. When I get here, I'm going to say khabaru inna marfu'. 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 When I get to kana though, kana Muhammadun jamilan. Because, as I said, way over here. Right? Did I have another? Yeah, way over here. I said the khabaru kana is mansoob. So I had to change my khabar from being marfu' to being khabaru kana mansoob. So we say kana Muhammadun jamilan. So here we're going to say khabaru kana mansoob. And khabaru kana, which is mufrad here, can be made into the other sentences as I did. Kana Muhammadun, right? Baytuhu, for example, baytuhu jamilan or jamilun. Jamilun. But instead of saying baytuhu, we say baytahu. Why? Because it is mansoob. Khabaru kana. Alright? Or if I say baytuhu, no problem. Baytuhu. Here together though, it would be in a position of being خبر كان منصوب. Right? كان محمد بيته جميل. Same thing if I said يأكل التمر. Same thing if I said من الهند. كان محمد من الهند. Right? And كان محمد أمام المسجد. He was in front of the masjid. Right? This is all خبر كان منصوب. خبر كان. So we said that we have مبتدا and khabar. We said, remember we had a chart. Let me erase this for a second. Erase all this. I should have left that line. It don't matter. I said before we could make a chart. We say marfu'at. Right? Those things which are marfu', mansubat. Right? Majrurat. And we could even have majzumat. No problem. But we said marfu'at. We put under here al-mubtada. We put al-khabar. They're marfu'. Right? They're marfu'. And we said what else could be? Ismu inna is mansub. Khabaru inna is marfu'. Right? Khabaru inna is marfu'. And we have ismu kana is marfu'. And khabaru kana is mansub. And we said that the khabar can be three types: mufrad, jumla, shibhu jumla. Same thing goes for khabaru inna and khabaru kana. Although khabaru inna we're going to still say marfu', khabaru kana we're going to say mansub. There's nothing difficult about this. It's just remembering, just plugging and playing. So let's read a few examples. For instance, كان المريض يتألم. كان. If I were to take out kana, you say al-marid yata'allam. Here's your mubtada, and here's your khabar. Your khabar here is a jumla. This is a jumla fi'liya. Yata'allam. He's hurting. He's hurting. This is a verb. Yata'allam. Yata'allamu. This is your verb. But here,
Still loading. Still loading.
Oh. Let me see if I can go up and back down. What did I just do? I went all the way to the top. Now I don't remember what page I'm on, man. I don't think I paid attention to the page. I said I would pay attention to the page on the PDF too, just because I haven't been paying attention, but we're close right now. What was that? What am I doing? No, stop.
You've been pecking on it for the longest. You gotta catch up.
Now I'm trying to go back. It went too far.
Yeah, sir.
That was last week, right? خبر مبتدا حين يكون الجملة أو شبه جملة. So it can be mufrad or jumla or shibhu jumla. Here, yeah, that's it. خبر نواسخ, right? حين يكون الجملة أو شبه جملة. So for instance, كان المريض يتألم. Before that, I could have said al-maridu, which would be my mubtada because it's a noun. Yata'allam. Right? طيب. Here is this is a sentence. This is a verbal sentence. Jumla fi'liya. You have a fi'l, yata'allam. The fa'il is mustatir, taqdiruhu huwa. So this is jumla fi'liya. Khabaru marfu'. But when I put kana, marid now becomes خبر كان مرفوع يتعلم. We're still going to break يتعلم and say في المضارع مرفوع. We're going to say it's a present tense verb مرفوع. The file is مستتر تقديره هو. We're going to say خبر كان منصوب. خبر كان منصوب. This is in a position. It's خبر كان منصوب. إن. This is إن. Right? إن. I can't read that word. This, here. I can't read it. What it's supposed to be. I have my book in the other room, but I don't want to wait. And we'll just read the next one. إن الولد. إن الولد, because of in, this becomes walad. If I started it before, it would have been a mubtada marfu', but now it's after inna, so it's mansoob. إن الولد زينته الأدب, that his zina, his beautification, is his manners. His zina, and we said there's a difference. There's zina, right? Zina is beautification. Zina, this is fornication. So we say, oh, he committed zina. He committed zina, that's good. He beautified himself. He committed zina, that's a whole different thing. Right? إن الولد زينته الأدب. Indeed, the boy, his beautification is his manners. So زينته is zina, is your mubtada, marfu'. Huwa is mudaf ilayh, right? Al-adab is your khabar, marfu'. But together, this jumla ismiya is khabaru inna marfu'. This one's khabaru kana mansub. This is khabaru inna marfu', because inna has different functions than kana. And la'alla from the sisters of inna would be the same thing. La'alla al-ghaiba ya'udu. Al-ghaib is the one who is absent, the one who's missing. Right? Here it means missing, not absent necessarily. La'alla, perhaps. Al-ghaiba, this is khabaru la'alla mansub. Ya'udu. Ya'udu is a jumla fi'liya, present tense verb. Right? Marfu'. Right? The fa'il is hidden inside of there. Taqdiruhu huwa. Right? So this is your jumla fi'liya. Khabaru la'alla marfu'. That's all. This is a real simple lesson. Asbaha is from the sisters of kana. Asbaha at-ta'iru yughanni. At-ta'ir, the bird. If I say at-ta'iru yughanni, the bird is singing. At-ta'ir, right? Ta'ir is your mubtada. If I get rid of asbaha, ta'ir is your mubtada, marfu'. Yughanni is a present tense verb. We said that the khabar could be a verb. It could be a jumla, I mean. Here's a present tense verb. It's a whole sentence. Yughanni meaning it's singing. It is singing is a sentence, even in English. It is singing. Yughanni. Taqdiruhu huwa, meaning the verb. The bird, right? So yughanni is khabaru marfu'. But here now we have asbaha. And asbaha is from the sisters of kana. Right? It has the same function as kana. So what does it do? It takes the mubtada and makes it khabaru asbaha. Ismu asbaha marfu'. And khabaru asbaha is mansub. So yughanni here is in the position of being mansub because it is khabaru asbaha. Is that clear?
So each one of the sisters, you had to call it by that name.
Yeah, you could say khabaru kana or something, but technically, yes. But you could say khabaru kana, but it's not really kana here, so you want to say the verb. But this is really easy. The khabar can be a mufrad, singular, or it can be a jumla, a sentence, ismiya or fi'liya. If it's fi'liya, it can be past tense or present tense, and it could be shibhu jumla, meaning jar wa majroor or dharf mudaf ilayh. Either one. It can be any of those. The khabar can be like that. Likewise, so can khabaru inna, and likewise khabaru kana. Whereas khabaru, when it's a simple mubtada and khabar, when it's a simple sentence, mubtada khabar, then the khabar is going to be marfu', whether it is ismiya, right? whether it is, where's my paper at here? Whether it's ismiya, fi'liya, jar wa majroor, or dharf mudaf ilayh, it's going to be, all of these are in a position of being marfu'. If I put in front of them, we're going to, instead of saying khabar marfu', we're going to say khabaru inna marfu'. If I put kana in front of them, we're going to say khabaru kana mansoob. That's it. Because the khabar, whether it's a khabar, a normal khabar, or it's a khabaru inna, or khabaru kana, it could be a jumla, it could be a shibhu jumla, or it could be a mufrad. Right? And if it's khabaru kana, then it's going to be mansoob. If it's khabaru inna, it's going to be marfu'. And if it's a regular khabar, it's going to be marfu'. If you've been following along with all of this all this time, this is easy as pie. Any questions?
لا.
طيب. We'll meet tomorrow bi'idhnillahi ta'ala with more Quran, the next surah, Al-Ma'un, as well as the next hadith from Umdat al-Ahkam. And we will have Tufat al-Akhyar, which is the book about the Adhkar by Sheikh bin Baz rahimahullah ta'ala. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.